Why do people keep starting at leagues like GFL? I know they sign washed UFC talent. The key is to get some viral KOs that go viral and homegrown talent, not unks. I know. KSW is the only like legitimate rival promotion in any way. It won't ever beat the UFC, but they have a stable base, you know? But yeah, I feel like it's just billionaires getting bored and millionaires getting bored and being like, I could host an MMA show. I'm a big MMA fan. It'd be cool if I could put together these matchups against legends I used to watch. So most of the time, these businesses, chat, they aren't even fucking... Sometimes you got to understand businesses can often be just an expense for fun for some millionaires, you know? Rather than like, not all businesses are meant to make money. Some of them are just there to spend money, but to get away with things along the way, like meeting great fighters and getting buddy-buddy with a couple top former UFC heavyweights along the way. And you only lost $250,000 on this event or 500K, you know what I mean? So some of these millionaires are not trying to make the money. Can we get a Guru GOAT list video? Lucas Tracy's list broke my brain. I get his takes, though. I haven't seen them, but I saw the picture on Twitter going around where people were like, this is so dumb. Dude, none of the names from like 10 years ago match up to the names today that these guys are beating as contenders. They just don't. They just simply don't. Like, today is like the first era of actual skill. And it's sad. It's sad, chat, but that is true. This era, we finally have skill in some of these divisions and depth. Like, I know people see it as boxing. Like, it's not the same as boxing in terms of 10 years ago being different from now. We actually have depth. The unranked guys are skilled. We're here. This is the modern era. You know what I mean? Some of the guys back in the day, I'm not saying it was just like a couple of skilled guys, and then the rest of them were just kind of there, tough guys. You know, they're just tough guys that were there. You know, it's not a horrible take. GSP would beat Masvidal. I agree, because Masvidal's not top level. You know what I mean? But GSP was a standout. So was Anderson Silva. So was John Jones. So was, you know, all of these other names that are like really good historically. But I'm just saying, you know, like I think Jonathan Martinez beats prime Dominic Cruz. I think Saeed Nurmagomedov would stand a really good chance. And these guys are like barely ranked / unranked. It's just there's a massive shift in skill level in the sport. The talent that would make you a champion now makes you maybe ranked. That's just true. That's just true. And it's not that crazy to say. Other divisions are different. Like heavyweight back when they could all source up was very different. Like I understand other divisions, but majority of them are. Well, that's my take. Now I've said it and it's clipped. Rate UFC 311, UFC 312, and the Riyadh Fight Night 1 through 10. Oof. The Riyadh Fight Night is a lot better than... 311's the best. 311's the best. Probably a 6 out of 10. Riyadh Fight Night, because it's a fight night, we'll go 6, but it's being outdone. 6.5 for UFC 311. 312 at the moment is being saved by Plessis, Strickland, and nothing else. So I'll go with a 4 or a 3. Probably a 3. Probably a 2. Let's face it. UFC 312 is arguably a 2 out of 10. Because literally without Plessis, Strickland, what would that pay-per-view be? 0. So the only thing that's saving it is the main event. And the main event isn't exactly something that people have been like begging for. Even though people would have acted like Plessis was ducking the Strickland rematch if he fought Chimaev instead. Which they wouldn't have. But I've just noticed that when Strickland bigs himself up, everyone trashes him. And then when Plessis trashes Strickland, everybody praises Strickland and trashes Plessis. I can't speak today. Am I the only one that thinks Prado and Matthews is good fee? Francisco Prado versus Jake Matthews. Yes, a sick fight on UFC 312, I'm assuming. But it's not main card pay-per-view worthy, is it? Is it so much to ask for, chat? 5 ranked fights, champions included, per month. 5! That's all we're asking for. 5 ranked bouts with ranked fighters. That's all I'm asking for on pay-per-views. 5 a month. That's 5 times 12. That's 60. That's 60 a month. That's 60 a year. 60 ranked matches a year. There are 15 ranked people per division. There are 8 divisions. You know? That's 120 ranked fighters. All we need is 5 a month. Half. We need fighters to fight once every 2 years to fill up that. Like, come on. I know fight nights and apexes, but that's how much more we have than we actually need to have 5 a month. 1 ranked fight night main event. Co-main can be ranked as well. And then 5 ranked matchups per pay-per-view. That's all we're looking for. If I have to pay $80 for each pay-per-view, each fight should be a crowded fight night main event level fight, true. Or something that's equally hype in rare occasions. Thank you, Barbecue Kermit, long-time supporter of the channel. But chat, yes or no, pay-per-view cost should scale with the quality of the card. I know I have no excuse not to, so I'm doing it. Shut up. I'm doing it now. This is happening now. It should scale with the quality of the card. It shouldn't be $80 for UFC 312. It should be 20 quid. It should be 20 quid for UFC 312. And if there's like a super card that's like, oh my God, this is sick. The $80 is $80 for a card where you have to be there for every fight. You know what I mean? But I'm not paying fucking $80 and fucking 3/5 of the main card are fat heavyweights that shouldn't even be on fucking prelims of a pay-per-view. Do you think the fights on 312 will be fun, even though the names are us? Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be a fun one. Yeah, they all look like fun fights. And yes or no, chat, pound for pound, along with Brazilians, I think Australians might be one of the most entertaining fighters in the world. Australians and Brazilians, I think, are probably the most entertaining nations that make the most entertaining fighters. Yeah, we get it, John Smith. Calm down. Australia always gets the shittiest fights. It does, but the fighters are very fun. So it will probably be a better card than some other regular US card. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to 312. I'm not even excited. So coping, saying to myself, there will be fun fights. They will be fun fights. Let me look at UFC 312. Plessis Strickland, fun. Zhang Weili, Tatiana Suarez, fun. Justin Tafa fight is going to be fun. Jimmy Crute Bellato is probably going to be very fun. Jake Matthews versus Francisco Prado, probably fight of the night. Jack Jenkins, Gabriel Santos, sick fight, probably going to be fun. Park Yin-sung, Niam Jargo, Temendem Brielle from the road to UFC, they're going to be fun. Cody Haddon versus Tapuria's brother, that's going to be fun. Tom Nolan versus Vyacheslav Borshev. I mean, listen to these fights. These are all fun fights if you know the game. Wang Kong, Bruna Brazil, Wang Kong's fighting. That's a women's fight spot that's going to be good. Kevin Jesse is on the card. Anshul Jabli is on the card. You know, we got talent for days. What's the worst pay-per-view card you have watched in the past? There was one with like Shevchenko. There was one with like Cyborg versus Yana Kunitskaya as a main event at like 5 a.m. I'm not even joking you either. People think like current cards are bad. Chris Cyborg versus Yana Kunitskaya was literally a fucking main event. Yana Kunitskaya. UFC 222. Not a bad rest of the card though, but O'Malley Sukumtat was a feature fight. Struve versus Arlovsky. Kat Zingano, Ketlin Vieira on the main card. The next best fight was Frankie Edgar, Brian Ortega. That was the best fight on the whole card. Look at the Figgy Perez main card. I know some of them were really bad, I know. Didn't he? Oh, and then he saved it after the Perez fight, didn't he? He fought at like UFC 256 and 255. People forget, man. Figueiredo was such a G as a champion, man. Nobody does that shit. People glaze Pereira now so much for fighting on like a 3-month turnaround, stepping up on short notice. Figueiredo fought in like back-to-back a fortnight. Within the space of a fortnight, he fought twice at 125, defending his belt. Oh, well. Anyway, it was Figueiredo Perez, Shevchenko Maia, Mike Perry, Tim Means as the feature fight. Oof. Shogun Paul Craig. Yeah, it's just all bad, isn't it? Chukagian Calvillo. Yuck. Figgy Glaze has always been unwarranted. Figgy Glaze? What do you mean Figgy Glaze unwarranted? Figgy is the most warranted glaze there is. What do you mean Figgy Glaze unwarranted? You fucking don't ever speak again in my chat. The fuck? Figgy glaze has been unwarranted. Fuck you. Remember 233? I know. Didn't even happen. UFC 233 may not have even happened. There was a card that never happened. Which one was it, chat? Oh, no, that was 233. Yeah, it never happened. Yeah. It had a main event of James Vick versus Paul Felder. People forget, man. These new fans really forget how bad certain cards were. The card was scheduled as main event James Vick, Paul Felder. Co-main event Joanne Calderwood versus Ariane Lipski. No, it was Cejudo versus Dillashaw, but they had to move it because the original 233 date was ruined, right? The whole card got cancelled because that was what we were left with. We were actually looking at that card going, oh my God, there's no way they can let that run. And they cancelled the whole event for it. But they did have Makhachev versus Francisco Trinaldo, the one that got away. People forget, man. Trinaldo would have swept him. Trinaldo was a marauder. He would have destroyed him. Go MMA, you say the wrong thing, and I can neutralize a source of your income in a snap of the fingers like that. You little leech parasite human. Add that to the outro of your fucking video.